Alright, welcome back to the Crabby Dice. Today we're going to do a full playthrough for Neom, Create a City of Tomorrow. And as you can see from that name, it is a city building game. So you're going to have your city board in front of you, and we're going to be populating it with different tiles. And this is like almost all city building games. You're going to have residential tiles, manufactured tiles, commerce tiles, adding them in, trying to score the most points possible. Before I forget, the main mechanism to this one is tiling, obviously, and drafting. All right, it is very similar to Seven Wonders. If you know how to play Seven Wonders, you already know 80% of how this game is going to play. All right, very similar. You take a tile, you place it down, pass your tiles to the next player. You're just going to keep going around until you place 7 tiles after 3 rounds, or 21 tiles. That's going to be the end of the game. All right, so before we start, I just have to mention a couple things. You can play this game 1 to 5 players, but instead of showing you solo, I'm going to simulate a 3-player game. I'm going to pretend the player to my left over here has the lumber board, and the person to my right over there has the coal board. All right, so I'm going to give them a couple of stuff, and then when I draft, I'm just going to toss them some random tiles, then we'll make some very strategic choices on our board. All right, so that's what we're going to do. You're going to see me play my specific board, and let's get started. So let's zoom in, and let's go. All right, now before you actually start the game, you're going to have a draft for these cornerstone tiles, and this is probably my favorite part of this game. All right, because it's really going to drive your strategy, what you're trying to accomplish, because most of these are scoring point tiles or money tiles to get a lot of money. All right, so, without these, it would be pretty much like vanilla Seven Wonders. It'll get boring pretty fast, but there's a ton of these tiles, and it'll drive your strategy and make you make different choices throughout the game. All right, so instead of drafting these, because you're supposed to draft, you're supposed to give everyone 4 and then draft 3 out of the 4, I'm just going to take 3 off the top of the deck. That's what we're going to get, and we're going to try to make it work. All right, a bit of randomness. All right, so let's look into these tiles. You're also going to see the anatomy of a tile. All right, so these are the cornerstone ones. So usually in the top left is a cost. All right, so this one's 2 coins. The top right is a scoring type of thing, and the bottom right is the actual benefit of the tile. All right, so this tile, if I build it, all right, at the end of the game, I'm going to get 2 points. Stars are points for every 0 to 2 point residential zone I have. This one's the tourism board. Every time I play a tile next to blue, I'll get 2 money. Ooh, this is very good for commerce type of strategy. And then finally, my last one is the casino. It's going to give me pretty much, commerce is all about getting income, right? So this one's going to give me extra income for all my greens in my whole tableau. All right, it's going to give me 1 coin right now. All right, so pretty cool. So maybe I'll adopt a residential strategy because a lot of my tiles deal with that. All right, so these cornerstone tiles, just put them next to your board. And to play these, what you do is, like Seven Wonders, when you're drafting a tile, instead of playing it, you'll toss it to get money. This one, you can either toss it to get money or play one of these tiles. All right, so it's always an option to play one. All right, so you really never get screwed. If you don't really want to play a tile, then play one of your cornerstone ones. These are always better than the tiles in the game. All right, so now we did that draft. Now you can actually start the game. All right, so every player is going to start with 8 tiles. And just like most drafting games, you're going to grab a tile and pass them over. Let's look at some of these tiles. So they're all color-coded, right? So blues are the commerce ones. They're good at giving you money. So this is a one-time benefit of $5. The gray ones are about giving you goods. I'll explain goods in a couple of seconds. They work very uniquely in this game compared to other games. These orange ones give you power and points. This one's about power and points. Oh, this one's protecting you against fire as well. I'll talk about those in a little bit too. There's some disasters that can happen in this game if people draft that tile. Again, there's another commerce one and a bunch of factory ones at the bottom. All right, so which ones of these do I want to build? Maybe I'll build one of the blue ones because it works really well with my tourism board here. So which one do I want to draft? Let's look at these two. Now this one needs oil. Somebody to have oil around the table so that I can pay them, or if I have it, to play this tile. Looking around the board, he gets, I believe that's coal, and he has wood, not lumber, wood. All right, so because nobody produces this, I can't actually play this tile. All right, so my only choice is the pawn shop. All right, so that's the tile I'm going to take. All right, so I'm going to choose that tile. I mean, every player is going to pick a random tile. Again, like I mentioned at the start of the game, I'm just going to pick randomly for everybody, except for me. I'll make some strategic choices. He's going to get the other good there. Where's that tile? He's going to get this one. He got that one. He's producing more stuff. And then everyone tosses their tile, and we get to build this in our tableau. Let's zoom in. Let's put this in. All right, now probably the thing that I hate the most about this game is that you can't actually rotate the tiles. Their orientation has to stay forever. All right, so because this one looks like this, with the name facing you, it's got to be played in this direction. So where do we want to place this? Maybe I'll just place it up here. All right, so the roads have to come back to your city center. So as you can see here, we're going back to the city center. So this is legal placement. Like this would not be a legal placement because there's no way for this tile to get back to your city center. I'm just going to play this right here. And the benefit of this tile is, bottom right, gives me a one-time bonus. That's a lightning bolt of $5. Go to the general supply, take $5, put it into my supply. And that costed me absolutely nothing to play. And there you go. That was the first tile that I drafted. Now again, instead of playing this tile, just like 7 Wonders, you can toss it and make $5. All right, but this one gives me $5 anyway. Or you could have tossed it, like I mentioned before, to build one of your cornerstone tiles. All right, so there you go. That was my first tile. Let's go to the next one. All right, so for my next pick, I'll make it quite fast. I'm just going to play the exact same type of tile because I figure I might want to get this out early so that if I have a lot of blues out there, every tile that I place next to a blue, I'm going to just making a ton of money. All right, so let me grab the laundromat. And this is going to give me an income of nothing right now, but at the end of every round, I'm going to make $3. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to play it over here. All right, so there you go. I'm going to pass this over. Everyone's going to pick a random tile. So player to my left is going to grab that one. Player to my right is going to grab, let's say they grab the blue one. And then we pass the tiles over. All right, so this game can go really fast if everyone knows what they're doing. It's just going to loop around the table extremely quick. All right, so on to my next group. All right, and this is where we encounter the flood, which are the disaster tiles. Now this is an area that a lot of people don't like about this game. I don't really mind it, just have to be prepared for it. But there is one disaster tile in every era, and we're playing 3 eras. So in era 1, it's the flood, and there's only ever going to be one flood tile. All right. If you draft this, you're immune to the effect of it, and everyone else has to deal with the disaster. That's sort of the benefit of drafting it, but it's not a tile you're going to place in your tableau. You're basically just wasting a turn. You're just not going to get affected. And these are all pretty terrible. You have to pretty much pay for certain things in your tableau, and you'll see that in era 2 and 3. And if you can't pay, then you're going to lose tiles. All right, so era 1, you lose a tile. Era 2, you lose 2 tiles. And era 3, you lose 1 tile of 3 different types. All right, so it could get pretty punishing if you don't have the money to pay for the thing. You just have to be aware that it's coming. All right, so what do I want to draft as my third tile? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a tile because I'm going to build one of my cornerstone tiles. As I explained before, it doesn't matter which one I want. If I want to rob one of these from the other players, it doesn't really matter. Let me just get rid of this one because that player already generates this resource, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going to chuck this one to play my tourism board. Okay. And where do I want to play it? Just like regular placement, just follow the roads, and I think I'm gonna play here, because now if I play a tile here, here, or here in the future, I'm gonna generate $2. All right, that comes into play every single time. All right, and if I would have, for example, played this like this instead, if I play a tile here, I would have made $4. All right, but I'm gonna just diversify, put in a bunch of different areas. I'm gonna gain 2 in multiple places. So that's that. All right, so let's toss everything over. This guy's going to grab a random tile. He's going to grab the natural gas one. So let's give him the natural gas good. Oh, and I didn't explain how these goods actually work. I'll explain them in a couple of seconds. So he played this. This guy over here is going to grab a random tile. He'll grab the diamond one because he generates this resource already. So he'll take this. Let's give him a diamond. Boom. And then he'll give me these tiles. All right, so let's pause 2 seconds to explain to you these goods. Now, goods are just prerequisites for tiles. You don't actually ever have to spend this stuff. All right, so for example, this one says you need this resource to build this tile. This one says you need to get stone to build this tile. You just have to have it or pay somebody to use it. All right, you're going to see over here the cost. So if you want to buy off one of your neighbors and you want to buy stone, it's going to cost you $2. All right, if you want to buy plastics or steel or gold or so on off them, it's going to cost you $4. All right, and they're going to score you points at the end of the game. So each of these resources are worth 1 point. Each of these ones are 2, and those ones are 10 points. All right, I'm looking at my hand. I really hate these tiles. I got goods. I can't even build this one. Nobody has stone. This one, I mean, I wouldn't mind building it, but it's pretty bad tile. I want to put a straight one here, and it's curved down. Like, it really doesn't connect well anywhere else. Maybe there. Fire station protects against the Era 2 disaster. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a tile to play another cornerstone tile. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. So let me toss this fire station, prevent everyone from protecting themselves from it. And I'm going to put my casino. It's another blue tile, so again, I'll make another $2 when I build next to it. So this one, as a benefit, will give me $1 right now, and at the end of the round, might give me more money. Let me take my $1. It doesn't cost anything. Where do I want to play it? Maybe here. Yeah. Like, maybe I would have liked to have played it here, but because it's a blue tile and this thing scores for everything around it, I'm sort of cutting myself off an extra $2 by having it on the border. So maybe I'm either going to go here or here. Let's build a huge wall here of blue. So anything that I build around, I'll score some extra cash. Yeah, and I can build a bunch of residentials down here. That's probably fine. Right, so I made my money. I made my choice. Again, let's toss this over. Let's grab a random tile for the other players. What is he going to grab? He's going to grab the oil drum. Let's give him the... Is that gas or oil? I don't know. Let's give him that token. So my opponents are grabbing all the resources. I just have one. He's going to grab the... the tile that I would have probably taken. Let's give him that tile. Now everyone passes their tiles over, and as you can see, we only have 4 tiles left, which means we have 3 more before Era 1 is done. All right. Actually, I just realized something. He couldn't have actually built this because nobody could produce this. But again, I'm not going to focus too much on that for the opponents. Just going to grab a random tile. I'll pretend that he actually took it just to put his cornerstone tile. So don't worry about it. Even though nobody can produce it, they can always play their cornerstone tile that they would have had. And that's fine. All right, so our next one, I definitely do want to grab some greens at this point, right? Because my end game scoring is a lot of greens. Plus, at the end of the round, I'll get extra money for greens. Now I can build the slums, which is a pretty bad tile. Or I can build the... Which one's this? The tenements. And put this in. Now, unfortunately, it is a pretty terrible arrangement of roads here. I can't really put it anywhere on the left because no roads are coming in. I could put it down here. That's not a bad idea. Let's do that. Maybe I'll grow my residential area down here. And between rounds 2 and 3, I'll explain how the scoring works in this game, right? Because there's some special scoring with residentials. So that's going to be my drafted tile. That does cost me $1. Don't forget, whatever's in the top left, you have to pay. If it's money. So I'm going to pay $1. I'm going to put this in. But remember, because of my special ability over here, every time I play next to a blue, I'll make $2. And next to a blue. 1, 2. And there you go. Again, let's draft a random tile for this guy. If it's a disaster, we'll deal with it. All right, seems to be the stone. He loves his resources. All right, so he's going to get the stone resource. There you go. Let's go to this guy. What is he going to draft? Let's draft the... No, I would have definitely have drafted this. This is the townhouses. It's going to cost him money, but again, I'm not focusing too much on his money right now. So let's push everything over and let's draft again. All right, looks like I got the disaster tile. I got a lumber mill. I can produce lumber or another residential. Let's go full out residential. Definitely gonna play this. It's gonna cost me $1. Oh, so sorry. It's cost me $1. Now, where do I want to play it? Maybe over here, so I can try to connect it. And I can play this right here like this now, but let's play it here. Maybe I'll just get a tile later to connect. Because I won't make my money if I don't play it here. But I'll probably play it in the future. You know what? Let's just play this here. And get the money later on. So I'm going to play it here. I'm not going to make my $2. And that's going to be it for my turn. So again, the other players, let's grab something random. Looks like he got a residential tile. Plums. And we're going to grab this guy, random. Going to be the gold production. Let's give him the gold production. And then I'm going to get those. He'll get those. And he'll get that. All right, the last. So now we got 2 tiles left. This is going to be the last thing we draft for the round. All right, so do I want to get the cement or do I want to get another blue tile? At this point, I might as well get another production one because it's going to help me later on save some cash when I need to get stuff with cement. Although, with all my money, I can just pay the opponents for using up their tiles. Yeah, let's do that. Screw it. Screw production of goods. What we're going to do is we're going to go all out blue and green. All right, so let's toss this one. That's going to be the last tile. You don't draft it. I'm going to play this one. Now, I need to get a oil drum good, as you can see here. Now, I don't have that. All I have is natural gas. And by the way, the one that you start with is the one on your city center, if you didn't know. All right, now, one of my opponents does produce it. It's going to be the player to my left. He has 1 natural gas resource. So I need to buy it off of him. All right, as you can see here, it's going to cost me $2 to borrow his gas. All right, FYI, if you did have a road that goes all the way to the side here, this arrow, you can actually buy it at 1 less, a -1 cost. So that would have only cost me 1. I don't have a road there, so it's going to cost me 2. I'm going to give him $2. I give it to him. All right, and I get to play this because I'm using his oil drum. And where do I want to play it? I'm going to play it right over here. All right, so that's going to give me 3. I'm playing next to another blue, so that's another 2. So that's going to be 5 in all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm rich. All right, so that's going to be it for my placement here. Although I should have played this technically here, so there's more blue places to play it around. But then it really cuts off my road. Actually, no, I can put a road here. It's probably fine. Yeah, you know what? Let me play it here instead. Here. Keep changing my mind. All right, so I'm going to play it here. Nothing changes on the cost. I'm good. I still make the extra $2 because I'm playing it right there. So I'm good. Now my opponents are going to draft. This is where the disaster might happen if he is 50%. Now, nobody has to draft it. If nobody drafts the disaster because it's the last tile, then nobody has to deal with it. But again, I'm playing random. So he's gonna cause the disaster. All right, so before he does this, let me draft the tile for the other guy. He drafts the wood. So let me give him the wood token. And let's toss this one. And let's talk about disasters. All right, so the disaster number 1, the flood, very easy to understand. You have to pay 1 for each green, blue, yellow, and orange tile that you have in your tableau. All right, which is going to be very expensive for me. All right, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles. I'm going to have to pay $7. But I'll pay because I have a ton of blues. I'm going to make all that money back in 2 seconds. So we're going to deal with that. I'm going to pay. The other guys are going to pay. Get rid of it. Oh, and if you can't pay, then you need to get rid of a green, blue, yellow, or orange tile. All right, so that's it. Pretty easy. That's going to be the end of arrow number 1. You're going to go to arrow 2 and do the exact same thing. So we're going to get 8 tiles each. 2, 3, 4, 8. Give that to that player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll give that to that player. And the last 8 are going to be mine. All right, which I did promise you I'm going to explain to you the scoring of this game. All right, so I got the score pad here. Let me zoom out just a little bit. All right, so this is the scoring of the game. What we're going to do is score these things. All right, so tiles on the top right might have a score. So for example, this one is 0. Come on. All right, so you're going to score that number for all your tiles. All right, and that's line number 1. Number 2 is all stuff that has variable scoring. All right, so for example, like this is a variable scoring tile. You're going to calculate this formula, and you score that many points. That's the second line. All right. After that, you're going to score your largest or all your green areas. So the way that works is like the Fibonacci series. The more green stuff you have together, you're going to score more points. I'll show you the chart later on when we score at the end of the game. Then you're going to score your goods. For each good production you have, you're going to score the points. So 1 for these, 2 and 10, like I mentioned before. Then for every 2 money you have at the end of the game, you'll score a point. Probably my strategy this game, try to get a lot of money. This one is, oh, I did forget to mention, some tiles, like the yellow ones, cause pollution. Example here. So you're going to see all this pollution on the outside. It's pretty much all the yellow and the a lot of the orange ones. So if you have those next to residential zones, you're going to lose points. That's what that means. Then you don't have at least 1 residential zone in your whole tableau, you're going to lose 10 points. If you don't have at least 2, you're going to lose 4. If you don't have at least 1 power symbol, you'll lose 5. You'll add all that together. Whoever has the most is going to win the game of Neom. And that's how you score. Pretty easy. Now let's look at our next set of tiles. And they're all very similar to the ones we already got. Just like 7 Wonders. They're just better versions of the first era. All right, so now the goods start getting more and more restrictive according to what you've already built. All right, also I'm going super duper fast. I forgot one thing. At the end of every era, you are getting extra income from all of your commerce. All right, so on the bottom, you're gonna see these gray boxes and you'll score extra money for that. So here it says $3. So I'm gonna gain 3. This one's 3, so 6. And this one is an extra 1 for every green tile in my tableau. So it's gonna be 3 plus 3 plus 2. That's gonna be $8. So at the end of era 1, I should have generated $8. All right, I'm rich. All right, and now we get to draft our tiles. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and looked at these, and I believe the one I want to build, yes, the one I want to build is the plastics factory. So now this one requires gas and oil. I produce gas. All right, and I just need to get oil. So this is the same resource as last time. So my partner, my buddy to my left produces it. So I'm gonna have to pay him $2 to use it. I'm gonna get this and I'm gonna play this now because this causes pollution. I don't want this next to green for sure, so I can put it up here, maybe next to the blue up here in the corners. Not a bad idea. I'm not gonna build residentials down there, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play it here just so I can get that road connected to my right hand side. So if I have to use any of this guy's resources, it is gonna cost me $1 less. So I'm gonna play that there. And that's it. That was my play. So the other guys are going to draft a tile each. Draft a random one here. They built the fire station or whatever, the police station. This guy here. Random tile. Oh, what do you get? You got the postal service. Oh, this is a pretty awesome tile. But we didn't get it. So we're going to draft. We're going to toss everything over. And we'll go to tile number 2. Oh, obviously I forgot when I grabbed this, I'm supposed to get a plastics token. This is just a reminder to the people around the table that you can produce that. That's why you put it next to your board. And when the people next to you see this, that means they can buy it off you. All right. So looking at my tiles, very quick. I mean, I can produce plastics. It's free. I don't have to pay anyone. Let's just build it. Make the game go a little faster. Now, unfortunately, this orientation really sucks. I wish I could have changed it or gone like this to make that one go there. I mean, I can't play it here. I could play here, but it caused a dead end. I could put it here, but I want my green to expand here. Can't put it anywhere up here. I'm stuck putting this here, either here or here. Sure, let's put it right over here. And now I go next to a blue. That's going to give me $2 because of my special ability. And that's going to give me $4 right now. Take a 5, put back a 1. And every round, going to give me another $5. All right, so I got a ton of commerce, giving me a ton of cash throughout the game. Let's go to this player here. He's going to grab the... Oh, no, this is probably one I would have wanted. Come on. The suburbs. More green. Oops. Then this guy here. Grab a random tile. Not the disaster. Not the disaster. All right, he grabbed the treasury. Oh, this is what I would have loved to have gotten. Because it's going to score extra points for every money. If you're doing the money strategy, you sort of have to have this tile. That makes me cry. Because I really needed that. So he's going to toss me this. He's going to go to that one. I'm going to pass to him. And let's grab the next one. All right, I'm just going to speed up the game a little bit at this point. I really like this tile, so let's build it. This is the prefab housing. It's one of the only green ones in the game with the X or roads on all the sides. So let's definitely play this over here. It's going to cost me, that's going to give me $2 for playing it. Again, pass this over. He's going to grab a random tile. Oh, another green one. He's going for a lot of greens. Maybe he's doing the residential strategy. And then this guy's going to grab a, oops. He's going to grab a random one. And he's going to get another orange one. Oh, 7 points. He got the combined cycle plant. So we pass everything over. Grab the next one. Oh, I just realized something. I couldn't. Okay. I'm not going to go back. I did make a mistake. Nobody can actually produce cement. So I could not have grabbed this, but I'm not going to go back. Let's just pretend somebody can create cement and some other player did it. All right, let's just pretend. I'm just going to grab random tiles now just to make the game go a little faster. Now this tile would be useless for me because I already produced one of these two. And resource, another blue one. So now, okay, so now if somebody took the bad thing, the disaster, I'm gonna have to pay $1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $10. So I have to keep in mind to always keep $10 available because I'm gonna have to pay that. And every tile that we grab this round is gonna be an extra dollar, an extra dollar. So maybe I'll grab this one to prepare myself for the last round of the game. This one protects me against the fire. Actually, this is the round with the fire. Let me double check it. Yeah, this is the round with the fire. So by putting it here, I'm actually going to save myself 1, 2, 4 extra dollars. Is it really worth it? It does give me points though. It's 5 points, which is pretty good. All right, so let's do that. Let's grab the fire station. I'll grab this and I'm going to play it over here. I'm going to protect all these tiles. And that's going to cost me $1. But I get 2 back because it's next to blue. 1, 2. Don't know why that tile is there. Yeah, so that's fine. So let's play that. Let's see if this guy grabs the disaster. Whoa, no, he plays another. 3 rounds in a row. He grabs one of my greens. Darn. And this guy over here is gonna grab a random tile. He's gonna grab the super expensive blue one. Toss everything over. And let's draft. So 3 more for this era. All right, so let's go for greens because I know they're in short supply at this moment because this guy's been drafting all of them. I'm gonna grab this one here, the bungalows, I believe. Yeah, the bungalows. And I'm gonna play this right over here. And by the way, you could cut off roads as long as you can, again, go back to the city center. So from here, I can go down to the right, back up, back to the city center. So this is legal placement. And there is also, I didn't mention at the beginning because I don't do it very often. I keep forgetting this rule, but you can overlay on top of already built tiles as long as they're of the same type or gray. But I didn't really feel like that's ever viable. Right? Just if you get stuck and you need to overlay it, then I guess that's a thing you can do. And by playing it here, this was free to put down. I'm gonna make $2. So next to the blue. At this point, I'll just put 5 and take back 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so I'll toss this over. He's gonna drop that random. Watch it be another green one. All right, no, you got the wood and the stone. Well, he's already getting stone and he's already getting wood. Oh well, too bad for him. So maybe he drafted that to put his cornerstone tile. Then this player here, maybe he'll draft the disaster. Random tile. Nope, it's gonna be the glass manufacturer. Let's give him that one there. So it's gonna come here, go there, go there. So 2 more tiles this round. Oh, and it looks like I have to either choose between disaster or fabrication. I think I'm gonna build one of the the yellow ones because I'm pretty protected against fire. I got the fire station, so I'm not gonna be paying a lot of money. Let's grab one of these. What do I want to build? Lumber or steel? Might as well go for the lumber because to get steel, I'm gonna have to pay $8 to people. I don't produce either of these. Although it's gonna help me out in the next round. No, let's just go for the cheaper option. So I'm gonna build this, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna build it next to the fire station so it's protected. So I'm gonna go over here. All right, so I'm gonna have to pay the person to my left because he produces wood. I'm gonna have to pay him $2. I'm gonna give 2 to him, but I'm gonna get $2 from the bank next to blue. And I got 2 tiles left. Pass it to the person to my left. All right, 1 tile after this. So he's gonna take randomly the copper wire manufacturer. So he's gonna produce that. And then finally, this guy over here. What is he gonna produce? Oil and gas. The 2 that he doesn't have. So that's pretty good for him. Oil and gas. Oil and gas. Where are you? Here you go, oil and gas. So these 2 come to me. 2 go to these players. And the last tile for the round. I get to choose between blue or blue. Actually, I don't even have a choice because nobody... Actually, he produces gold. I thought nobody produced gold. All right, so I can actually build both of these. Which one do I want to do? So let's just look at placement here. Look at what's better. Now, this one I don't think is going to be good because it sort of anchors to the right-hand side, and basically I can put it here, which cuts off my green. Here cuts off the road. Here cuts off this whole left section, and here I can't really do anything with it. So maybe not this one. This one I could sort of hang it out on the right-hand side over here. I don't want to put it here because then I can never put tiles down here. And I can't put it anywhere on the left-hand side. So let's put it over here. Why not? I'm going to play it over here. Now I do have to pay somebody gold. I do have a road to that section, so I'm going to pay $1 less. Gold normally costs 4. I'm going to pay him $3. 1, 2, 3. So 3 to him. And I'm going to play this right over here. And that's going to give me a one-time bonus of $8. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm rich. That's all my cash. So this last tile doesn't get used. So this player here is going to draft a random tile. Is it going to be the disaster or is it going to be safe? Actually, I'm going to be more climactic. I'm going to do this guy's turn first. He's going to grab the this tile here. Let's say he discards it for his cornerstone tile. This one's gone. And now this player here is going to grab the disaster. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's a disaster. All right, so let's deal with it. All right, so now we have to pay $1 if you're not protected from fire. $1 for all the same things as before. All right, so when you pay the cost, all this tile means is that you don't have to pay for those tiles. All right, so it protects itself and everything around. All right, so these 9 are all protected. So looking at my board, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that are not in this quadrant. So I'm gonna have to pay $7. 5, 6, 7. So that actually saved me quite a bit of money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, another $7. So that's pretty good. So I'll pay 7 to the bank. All right, get rid of this. Almost done the era. I can't forget to score my extra money from my tableau. So it's going to be 3, 6, 7, 8, plus 5, 13, plus 4, 17 bucks. I'll take a 20 and put back 3 more. All right, so that's going to be the end of era 2. Everyone else is going to score that stuff. So let's grab some tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to one player. Oh, 8. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the other player. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for me. All right, let's grab a tile. All right, looks like the start of round 3. I got the last disaster. Now this one's really painful for me. You got to pay $2 for every green, blue, and yellow. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's $24. And every tile that I take of this type, the later it goes, it'll be an extra 2, an extra 2. So I can pay up to $30 for this. So maybe on the next turn, I'm actually going to grab it. Now, what can I grab? I can grab this tile here. For $1, protects me from the crime spree, but there's nowhere that I can put it that'll save me from a lot, unless I put it right in the middle of my city center. That's actually not bad. That is not a bad idea. But let me see what else I can do. I produce plastic, another blue. I don't think I need that right now. Now this is the sports car. This is going to give you a 10-point good. This one's not great. You need also 3 factories for this. I only have 2. I can't even build. Now, this one does give me the lightning bolt. Remember, I need to build at least 1 tile with the lightning bolt for power, or I'm going to end up losing 5 points at the end of the game. This one needs the good, the sports good that I just talked about. So right now, nobody can build this. So I'm thinking about either the yellow tile, so then I can build the sports car, what's it called? The car dealership later, which is going to give me 24 money. And the car itself is going to give me 10 points. Now this tile's not bad because it counts as a blue and a green. So both of my strategies, I can put this right here and connect to the person to my left. And it's 3 points itself. Oh, but nobody produces cement. So remember, I'm not going to cheat this time. I can't actually build this. So let's do... Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Do I just make a ton of money and get ready for that disaster? Go for the sports car. I can't actually build this tile anywhere. Oh my god, what should I do? Maybe we'll just go for this one? Just to get ready for the power, so I don't lose the 5 points. Yeah, okay, let's do that. I'm going to grab this. Where do I want to put it? Let's put it over... I don't want to put it here to cut off my green. I don't want it here. It's going to cut off my bottom. Let's go right up here in the corner. So it's going to cost me $8. 5. Put back a 10. Take back 2. And I built next to blue, so I'm going to make 2 more money. All right, so I paid for that. So that, again, is 10 points at the end of the game. So it's technically 15 points because I also don't lose the 5 points because of the power symbol. All right, so let's toss this over to the person to my left. All right, so we're only going to drop 6 more tiles and the game's over. Then we're going to score. This guy's going to grab the massive... Oh, he's going to do the jewelry. It's one of the prestige goods. So there's only 3 in the game. He's going to get the jewelry there. And this person to my right is going to grab something random. Going to grab the Oh, you can't actually build this. You need electronics. Go to the next one. Oh, copper. So he's going to do roofing supplies. He's going to get a lot of money right now. All right, so he's going to grab that. Let's toss everything over. So that's to him. This is to me. This is to him. Let's grab our next tile. So what do we have? Looks like we have the electronics, which needs a prestige good to build. Nobody can build this right now. Let's look at these green tiles. I have a ton of greens, and I think we'll build one just to see if we can connect over here. All right. Looking at these green tiles, none of them are really good in my situation. This one is an up and down. I can't actually put this unless I put it here. So I can't connect to my growing residential zone, so I'm not going to build that. The other tile, again, another one that's sort of up and down and to the left. I can't really place it anywhere except for up here. Not a great choice. So I'm left with these 2. It's left to up and down to left. I can put this here again, not amazing. I think I have no choice but to play this one near the bottom over here. So let's do that over. Ideally, I would have played it over here. And I could play it here. It sort of gives me opportunity to grow down here and then also up. It still continues my green area. Now, I won't be able to connect to the left-hand side, but that's probably fine. I'm rich. I don't really need that discount. So I'm going to play that. That's going to cost me $2. I'm not playing next to blue, surprisingly, so I'm not going to get it back. I do have to remember that I want to play this by the end of the game. It's going to score me a ton of points. All right, so that was my tile. Pass this to the person to my left. Let's grab a random tile. 5 tiles left. He's going to grab the crime spree thing. He's going to grab... Let's see. Grab this one. He produces gold, so that's perfect for him. Toss this over. Let's see. Yeah, 5 more to go. All right, let's just keep going down our strategy of greens. Now this is a great tile, the nursing home. Unfortunately, it's just one road to the right, so I can put it down here. But I do want to continue maybe going upwards to give me more flexibility later. Actually, I can't build this either because it requires cement. Oh no! So what do I do? I just go for more yellow? No, I don't need it. So this is a pretty good tile though. It is going to net me 8 points because all of these goods are worth 2 points each at the end of the game. But unless I toss one of these to play my... Actually, you know what? Nursing home is free and it's 4 points and it'll give me more green. Let me play this. Play right over here. Fortunately, now I can't play anything here, but I think that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to play this. This has no cost. Well, the cost is having at least 3 other residentials in your city. I have plenty, so I'm good. That's going to go there. All right, almost done, almost done. So this guy over here is going to grab the residential area. Another one. I think that's his like 10th one that he grabs this game. This guy over here is going to grab the... Oh, the yellow factory. Okay, let's grab that. Let's toss everything over. All right, now, man, I have a decision to make. Do I go for one of these? This green one, actually, I can't build this green one anyway. If I could have built, I would have maybe had a better, maybe a thought of playing this instead of the disaster. I think I have no choice but to play the disaster because it's going to prevent me from losing $28. I got 14 tiles of this type, and I don't really want to pay that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this tile. Again, you don't play disasters in your thing. I'm protected from the disaster. All the other players are going to deal with it. So they're going to draft first before they deal with it. Again, I'm not tracking their money, so I'm just going to pretend that they can pay for it. So he's going to draft that. He's going to draft this. All right. Now they're going to deal with the disasters. Let's say they paid for it, and that's it. Pass the tiles over. Let's draft again. Did I grab a green one? Yes, some green stuff. All right, I'm definitely going to want to build a green. Although this one's pretty nice. Electronics, $24 at the end of the game. Unfortunately, nobody can actually build electronics. So I can't actually build this tile. Oh, you need this tile to build this tile. Fantastic. So I guess I'll go for one of these two. And definitely, let's just continue our green area going upwards here. So maybe we can get even 2 more. So I'll grab this. Now this one needs wood and steel. He produces both. So I'm going to have to pay $8 to him. All right, so I'll pay $8 to that player. I'll take this. I'll put it here. Now that gives me $4 now, and next to a blue, an extra 2, so 6 in total. Get that. Again, grab some random tiles for these guys. Drop this one. He's going to draft this one. Oh, the sports car. Awesome. Let's give him the sports car icon. Where did it go? Where did it go? Sports car. There you go. Awesome. All right, and let's go. 2 more tiles and the game is over. It looks like I'm stuck with 2 blues and a yellow. I think at this point, just to get my last cornerstone tile in the game, it's going to score me 2 points for each of my residentials that are 0 to 2 points. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That's an extra 10-point tile for me. And none of these are going to generate me 10 points. Although this one generates 8. It's pretty close. Although I'm going to have to pay a lot of money to put this down. So instead of that, let's just toss this, put a cornerstone tile in. And where do we want to put it? I don't think I have a choice. Let's put it down here. Now that's going to cost me $2 to put in. 1, 2. Right, and it looks like we're going to draft our last tile after this one. He's going to draft this one. Electronics. Give him that tile. This guy here is going to draft the plastics one that I might have wanted to build. So it's going to go there. And last and final tile. What are we going to get? Either the blue, which I cannot build this tile. Can't go there. Can't go anywhere here because I don't have a road going in. So let's not draft this one. And this one's a road going straight. And I cannot build this one either. Isn't that a shame? Although I can overlay something. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's overlay a tile because I do want to get that extra green in there. It's going to give me extra points. Yeah, let's do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to replace... Ideally, the best place would have been to replace this one here. But there's no way for me to reconnect back here. So this is an illegal placement. Although if this one had a road going this way, it would have been perfect. Because then I could use this road to get to all my other tiles. And this would have added another green to my section. But I can't really add this or replace this. Well, I don't see it anyway. I mean, I could put it here. But it doesn't just need to touch. It needs to actually be connected together. So this is still a tile by itself. Because it's a tile by itself, I'm just going to replace one of the blues that I can... I mean, I can go right here. So I can still connect this tile, through this tile back to the city center, even though this tile is not there. And that tile is still connected through there. So that's fine. So I'm going to place this over here. Now you're supposed to remove the other tile and toss it, but I'm just going to overlay it on top. And I believe I still make the money for playing it, so I'm going to get an extra $4 from the bank. Take a 5, put back a 1. And that tile being placed gives me an extra 3. Although I needed to pay... Okay. It's a stupid thing with the cement. Let's just say people had the cement, just so I can go through this quick. Let's say it was this player had both. I have to pay him $8, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. Pay $8 for that stuff. And there you go. I am done. My last tile. Let's pick a random one for this player. Let's give him this one. Let's give this guy a random tile. Let's give him the electronics one. Plus the green one. And there you go. That is the end of the game. So let's go to scoring and we'll score this up pretty quick. Oh, again, I forget. At the end of every era, don't forget to get your money. So I'm going to get 9 plus 4, 13. Plus 8 is 21. Plus 5, 25. Plus 2, 27. 20 plus 5 plus 2. Let's put all that money together, and that's going to be it now for the game. Okay, can't forget. All right, so let's go to scoring. Get your handy dandy pad. First thing you do is score the top right of all your tiles. So that's going to be 10 plus 5, 15 plus 3, 18 plus 2, 20, 24, 26, 7, 28, 32, 33, 34. That's going to be straight up tiles. Next is the question marks. So I got a couple here. For every building that's 0 to 2, score 2 points. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 points. And then I had another one, I believe. My other cornerstone one. Where'd it go? Oh, sorry, my other one was for money. So these two were for money, so it doesn't actually score. So that was just 10 points for that. Then the connected green zones together. So this is going to be 7 things connected together by road. That's going to be 28 points, and this one's only by itself, so 1 point. So that's going to be 9 in total, 29 in total. 9. Sorry about Next gonna be for your goods. I did terribly for this, so I'm just gonna gain 3 in total. And he's gonna get a ton of points. That's 10, 20, 30, so on and so on. Then for every 2 money you get a point. So I'm at 40, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53. So that's 26 points, I believe. 26. Then for any negatives, I don't have any factories next to residentials. Oh no, I lied. I have this one right over here. So you have to look at all your greens. So if you're directly next to it, that's -2. If you're diagonally next to it, it's -1. So I'm just going to lose 1 point. This one's next to nothing. Yeah, 1 point. So -1. Then I have the requirements here. So I'm going to lose nothing. And I have the requirement here. So I'm going to lose nothing. You'll tally all that up. I mean, quick. 44, 64, 73, 76, 96, 102, 101. Is that right? Off the top of my head, math. There you go. You're gonna check that for all the players. Whoever's the most is gonna win the game of Neom. All right, and there you go. So let's zoom out here. So a pretty good game. Some restrictions with the tiles. Now I would say if you want to house rule it and say you can rotate the tiles, that might make it easier for new players, because if not, you got to sort of memorize the future tiles and what orientation they had. So that's not a bad house rule. Another house rule you can have is if you don't like the disasters, just don't play with them. Replace it with another tile from the box and you're pretty much ready to go. All right, so that's Neom. Let me know what you think. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.